Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video and a brand new episode of my F1 2017 career mode. And today we are here for the USA Grand Prix, round number 16 of the season at Austin, Texas, and the circuit of the Americas. And I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be another interesting race, starting from the back with the best car on the grid. Let's be honest here, and hopefully we can have a good race, recover for the field, and try and finish at least in the top 5. We've got a really good chance of clinching the championship this race. Perez really needs me realistically to only score like 1 or 2 points, and he needs to win the race. So the chances of me winning a championship this race are very, very high. But yeah, we're just going to enjoy the race, take it easy, and hopefully reap the rewards at the end. There is a chance of rain in the air, so it's going to be quite interesting to see how this race pans out. But if you guys did miss the last episode, do check out the card annotation in the top right-hand corner of your screen. But with that being said, we are now going to run you through the grid for the full from race last of the season now. Full from last race, yes, the 116. So, yep, we're going to run you through it, and it's going to be a pretty interesting grid. We are starting from the back, obviously, to making our way through the field, but we do have Lewis Hamilton on pole, Fernando Alonso in second place. I believe it might have been a wet qualifying, but Alonso starts second, Bottas third, Vettel P4, Perez in fifth, Ocon in sixth. It's a Red Bull fourth row with Van Dorn and Hulkenberg bringing out the top 10. It's an all-Williams sixth row with Grosjean and Sainz in 13th and 14th, Palmer, Daniel Kvyat, Kevin Magnussen, Pascal Wehrlein, Marcus Ericsson, and myself at the back of the grid. But Fernando Alonso starting in P2. I cannot believe that. That's going to be so interesting to see how that one pans out, because he's going to really make the race interesting, especially if he takes the lead to the first corner. He's going to really hold up the pack for me. So that could be very, very interesting indeed. But in terms of the race today, we are going to look at the race strategy and see what we can do. As you can see, it's going to be a dry to wet race. Unlike the Royal Grand Prix, the rain is going to arrive after the race is going to arrive during the race. So let's see how it goes. I'm going to change my strategy accordingly. I'm tempted to start on the super soft just in case, because I feel like I don't want to have to, stay on the ultra and get caught out in terms of my tyre. So we're going to quickly change the strategy to a super, and we'll just go soft. It's just a temporary thing, but fuel-wise, we're going to go very low because, it's going to rain, so we're going quite aggressive on the fuel. And I think with that being said, there's no more left to say except for just go for it and see how the race goes. So with that being said, let's get into it now for round number 16 and the USA Grand Prix. Let's get it. Right, getting ready for the 5 red lights here at the circuit of the Americas. Lights out and away we go, and it's a really good start off the line actually, getting past Ericsson and very, very easily there. Wehrlein getting a brilliant start in the other Sauber as we make our way into turn 1, lock up on the left front, avoiding the contact if possible on the inside of Wehrlein, and also Daniel Kvyat as well. Power down around the outside of turn 2 on Wehrlein here as we go into the S's for the first time. This is going to be brave stuff. Wehrlein hanging it in there, and he's actually managed to hold on to the position, but I've got so much more downforce and grip than the German, so this should be a fairly simple move. But right now I am in no rush to make any moves, because if we lose the front wing now, we're going to be in big trouble. So we have to keep our car in one piece and just take it easy, make the moves when they're necessary and when we find it's the right time. As we now go into the hairpin for the first time, AI go very slow into here, so I'm going to opt for the outside line to try and set myself up better for the back straight. And there we go, lovely switchback, power down, and there we go, we're powering past that Sauber on the back straight relatively easily. Swipe across, get the slipstream on Kevin Magnussen. Do we have the confidence on the brakes to make the move here on the Dane? Yes, we do, down the inside, but them ultras getting the stopping power and also the traction on the exit. But so far, very good opening lap to this Grand Prix. Let's see if we can make any more positions here. Through the final corner, if we can just get a good exit out of here, which we have done. Nice traction, a little bit of wall spin, but keeping it nice and controlled. And we're going to get a lovely toe on K-Mag, who's going to go defensive. We're going to opt for the outside into turn 1 here. Do we have the grip around here? Is there enough stuff on the tarmac for me to grip onto? We're still side by side. We're going to have the inside though for turn 2. Power down. Can we get in front of the S's? Yes, we do. And we get in front of the Dane, and we're up into P16 now. So making good progress. Jolyon Palmer in the Renault up next. We're on the back of Jolyon Palmer here out of the final corner. Not the greatest of exits, unlike with Kevin Magnussen, but we are still going to be relatively close. Depends how early he brakes into turn 1. I could have definitely gone for it there, but patience prevails. Rain is about 10 minutes away, so I'm going to guesstimate around lap 10 is when it's going to arrive. So we could actually see some people coming to the pit lane for the tyres, because we know what the AI are like for these sort of mixed weather strategies. They just come in for another set of dry tyres when it makes absolutely no sense. But we've got a Red Bull there just up the road. I think it's Ricardo might be struggling from what I can see, but so far we're looking good. Tyres feel good. We've got, oh, Grosjean's got out of shape there in the Haas. Yellow flag. Does it go to green? Does it go to green? Okay, we're a green flag conditions, and we got the inside of a couple of cars at the hairpin. It's very late, but we made it work. Opportunistic overtake, waiting for the green flag zone as Grosjean got all out of shape. That's the first time I've seen the AI make a mistake like that, which was quite remarkable, but very, very nicely done. Opportunistic at best. That was a very nice time double overtake, and we've gained 3 places in the space of 2 corners. So right now we are going to chase after Daniel Ricciardo. So I was correct, he is struggling in that Red Bull. Alright, we're knocking on Ricciardo's door here. We're going to go a little bit deep into the hairpin, straighten up the car a little bit earlier, get the power down and get the traction down. We're a little bit far back actually. Ricciardo got some good acceleration in the Red Bull, but we're going to pick up a nice toe, and the overspeed is going to kick in with this Ferrari car. Do we have enough on the brakes? Yes, we do. Ricciardo locks up. He's got some sort of problem, I think. He's struggling for pace, and we just slide up the inside with relative ease. I've got to be honest, in a minute, I don't think my pace is great. I think I'm struggling. This car isn't working phenomenally. I'm struggling to catch the 4 cars in front of me, which are not fast cars. Looking at the minimap, Vettel seems to be struggling as well, so maybe both of the Ferraris, just we can't get going at the minute. Vettel, you can see he's got a little pack of cars behind him as well. We've got both of the McLaren Hondas here, so Alonso from that brilliant grid position is now down to like P8, so shame it couldn't really last, but that's also realistic for them. Okay, Hulkenberg comes in. He's the first of the guys to stop as far as I'm aware. There might be a few more cars in the pit lane, but actually no, I think it's just Hulkenberg. Yeah, Hulkenberg's the first one to bite the bullet. Rain in about 5 minutes time, as you expect. A bottle in the strategy call. Up next is Fernando Alonso, who I think we are way faster than. We also think might have some problem with his car. And then we've got, I think it's Stroll, and then we have Van Dorn. I'm doing personal best every lap, so I'm always finding a bit of time every single time we go around, but not really enough to sort of make a statement. I'm hoping in the wet conditions I might have a little bit more pace. I'm running a default setup as I get a horrible bit of oversteer there, but struggling to really just get this gap closed to Alonso at the minute. Oh wow, we've got a double lock up here. Stroll and Van Dorn have gone on. Alonso's been opportunistic and made the move. I'm now in rich mix trying to pick up the pieces here. This could be a couple of overtakes. Alonso goes wide, and so does Stroll, so does Van Dorn. We've hit an end plate. Big damage here. Front wing hurting. I've got to be careful with this. There is no way I'm coming in. I've got to hold on until the wet conditions now, but the downforce loss is definitely noticeable right now. I'm just starting to struggle to keep up with the McLarens now. The front wing damage is hurting me bad. I'm understeering quite a lot, but we've got a few cars in the pit lane now, including my teammate Sebastian Vettel, so this is big. I think Hamilton just came in on the last lap, and he's already been and gone. He's the man running up to turn 1 now. We've got cars here in the pit lane. We're going to gain a few places though, which is good. I don't know who that is. There's a Mercedes even in the pit lane there. I think that might be Bottas. So let's see how this goes. I'm sort of waiting for the rain now. I kind of need it to start dropping. And there you go, on cue. It started to rain. Right, let's get ready. Big lock up, track getting a little bit damp. Got to be careful. Power down, but I'm going to be so vulnerable to Stroll. I am in rich mix, so that might buy me some time on the straight, but that Williams, I know how fast that bloody car is, but I think we might actually be okay as the McLaren start to battle it out. I'm tempted to come in this lap for Inters. The track is getting wet very quickly here. You know what, I think I'm going to come in for Inters this lap. Look at the understeer, just cannot get the car down to the apex. I'm going to risk it. Everyone's going to come in and presumably put another set of dries, so that's what the AI do. I'm going to come in for the Inters. So let's get it also down, make sure we don't speed. I've already requested a front wing change, so that should hopefully arrive as well. Let's see if this strategy gamble pays off. There's the front wing, everything's ready. Let's have a switch over to the Inters. That rain was coming down really quick. I thought it was worth a gamble. Within half a lap, it just got so wet to the point it was just chronic understeer, so it was worth doing. Magnussen's coming for intermediates in the Haas, which is quite telling. So there we go, on cue, we've got the switch over absolutely spot on. We have to push hard now on this outlap though and recover those positions. Looks like we have a struggling Pascal Wehrlein on dry tyres here, which means I'm going to have to swap in for the opportunity of getting a double overtake because those guys are on Inters. So we just have to take that opportunity and make that move. Look at that, people back in the pit lane, including my teammate Sebastian Vettel. Let's see if the gamble pays off. I think everyone is in the pit lane right now, so we would have had that entire lap to gain time and make up ground. Ricciardo has got himself back into this race. If he fixes his car issues, he's on the right tyre, so that paid off for him. But let's see where we rejoin now. Cars still in the pit lane. Most of them have already started to leave, which is frustrating. But we are going to rejoin, and it's going to be side by side with Sebastian Vettel by the look of it. We have to look for the outside. I've got warmer tyres and more grip. And there we go, around the outside of my teammate cleanly. And that is a lovely move, and we're in P8. So that is our net position. Let's see now if we can go any further forward. Heavy rain arriving within 5 minutes time, so it's going to get even worse real quick. Okay, we're really starting to put the pressure on Daniel Ricciardo now, who is struggling a bit. We are faster, so we are going to dip into the rich mix to try and get past him. We are quite far back. Ricciardo got some brilliant traction onto the back straight. Obviously no DRS now, so we can't really make the move with DRS assistance. Locking up a little bit, but we're still going to put it down for the corner okay. I reckon this could be over fairly soon. I think I can pass him quite easily. Here through the front corner. Make sure we get a good exit, which we have done. And we are very close to Daniel Ricciardo this time. Going to pick up a lovely slipstream on the Honey Badger. As we go into turn 1, Ricciardo goes, oh, he sort of weaves across. I sort of had to think about it for a second. I'm going to go very hot into turn 1, just having to readjust my line. But we still make it work. Ricciardo really last second there, as I was about to pull the pin. He just completely shut me down right at the last second. Look at this. The person in front of me, Mr. Sergio Perez, who I believe has just been overtaken. So, as things stand, we are the world champions. So, we are in control. Hamilton has car issues. This could not go any better, and I think that's why there's a massive train of cars in front of me right now. I think it is now heavy rain conditions, so at this point we're just sort of waiting when it feels right to transition over to the full wet tyres. Oh, we've got a car in the pit lane here. I wonder who that could be. Well, that's a very unexpected stop. That is Hamilton. Wow, okay, so the dominant race leader has now come in. I know he's got car trouble, so let's see. Right now, I'm curious because as things stand, heavy rain's coming soon, but the AI might come in for another set of inters, and oh, Vettel's out of the race. Jeez, that's a rare time for him, but he's been out of the championship picture for a long time, so I'm not too concerned. However, that is going to hurt us in the constructors. Okay, we've got way more cars in the pit lane, so we're going to get promoted a couple of places. These guys coming in for fresh inters. I'm hanging out on these. I mean, they're pretty worn, but the weather's going to get worse any second now. So right now we're P3, Perez in front, he stays out in P2, and I'm guessing it's Bottas in the lead. That's my guess. It could be Ocon, I'm not really sure, but right now we're still world champion in this position. Even if Perez wins, I think we'll become the world champion. So right now, I'm in the driving seat. And the heavy rain's going to start falling soon, but it's one of them ones where I remember in the pre-race screen, the icon was only the last one, and when it is the last one, normally there's not enough time to put that tyre on and make it work. So I'm probably going to have to get this to the end of the Grand Prix, which I can do, but I'm definitely struggling, as you can see me sliding there through that corner. Right now I'm looking nailed on for probably P3. Verstappen is right behind me now. He's caught up to me and he's putting the pressure on a little bit. Perez has walked away, but I don't really care. I could easily lose the position to Verstappen if I had to, because I'm still going to win the championship in this position, I believe. I'm not even going to lie, at times I think this race feels longer than Singapore. Like, I've been doing this for so long now, this race, and it feels like it's just never going to end. The lap is so long around the circuit, and the fact, I mean, I've said it before, Singapore in the dry is about 1 minute 40 to 38 lap. This in the dry is like a 1 minute 35, and then right now we've done half the race in the wet, which is a near 2 minute lap. If you also factor in Singapore is 31 laps and this is 28, this is only like a couple of minutes, like 5 minutes less race time than Singapore. It's such a long race. I think it's the second longest one on the calendar. It really drags on. Oh dear, Grosjean, mate. Make your mind up. Please make your mind up. That was way too close for comfort. Ooh. Perez has got car trouble. The problem is though, he's 13 seconds up the road with pretty much 1 lap to go. I don't think I'm going to catch him, but Perez in trouble. You never know. Right then, Esteban Ocon wins the race. Force India are now on for a third consecutive 1-2 finish. But that's not really the most important thing. The most important thing is we are going to win the Drivers' Championship. 2 corners to go. Let's make sure we have no issues. If one more extend, I'm going to get a penalty. So let's make sure we don't do that. Final corner, Verstappen and Van Dorn putting the pressure on behind me, but that's all it is, pressure. We're going to bring home a podium after starting from the back of the grid, and we win the World Drivers' Championship in the 7th season of career mode and the final season of the career mode there. Very good race, very good season, and a very, very enjoyable one. Having the car underneath me all season long, whether it was the Williams or the Ferrari, and I think I won most of the races. So thoroughly deserved. No one can argue it, and I think it's about right to call it an end in this chapter of the F1 2017 game. And I think it's a good time to end it. Obviously, we'll still do the last couple of races, but after that, it's going to be the end of the series, and we'll go into a new series and something new. But it's going to be the end of the career mode. 140 episodes by the end of it, and I could not be any more happy or any more proud of myself. Never thought I'd get that far into the career mode, to be honest. So overall, I'm very happy, and I really, really enjoyed it. But there's your top 3. There's the podium, and let's move into the final race results. Drivers and constructor standings. Right, so there we have it then. The final race results are in, and Ocon wins with Perez in P2, and we ran out the podium. Verstappen in P4, Fernando Alonso in a very good P5 for McLaren. Even though he started from P2, realistically, P5 is a good result for him. Bottas in P6, ahead of Felipe Massa. Stoffel Van Dorn in P8, with Lewis Hamilton only in P9 after having car issues that race, and Palmer bringing out the points. And with Ricciardo in P12, they're missing out on the points. But in terms of the standings, you can see we are 93 points clear with only 75 more points up for grabs. We are clear as daylight, and we are the World Drivers' Champion for Season 7 in career mode. And that is an incredible result. But in terms of the constructors, though, Force India are 48 points clear with only 4 more races after this, or 3. I'm not sure. No, 3 more races after this. So, yeah, me and Vettel have got to try and pull something out the bag. We have Mexico, Brazil, and Abu Dhabi to try and pull something out the bag. So the pressure is on, and we need to try and make it count. But anyway, that is going to be it, guys, for this episode of Career Mode. If you have enjoyed it and you're happy that I've won the championship, then please do drop a like, guys, on the video. Let's try and smash 200 likes for winning the World Drivers' Championship. And also, if you're new around here, please do subscribe to the channel for daily Formula 1 and MotoGP 18 content. And turn notifications to not miss any uploads from me. And finally, do check out these 2 videos on screen if you have missed. And other than that, guys, thank you for watching the entire season long. I thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you in the next episode very soon. Goodbye.